Welcome to Beat Diabetes. I'm Dennis Pollock, and today we're going to talk about, well, depends on where you're from. You might call it flat bread, a very flat, thin bread. In America and in the South Americas, among the Hispanics, it is known as tortillas. In India, they are known by roti or chapati, but rose by any other name smells just as sweet, right? So when you become diabetic, you realize I really can't eat that kind of stuff. It's made out of wheat flour. Wheat flour is not good for me. And woe is me, I can never have flatbread again. Then you find there are alternatives, and the one that'll really make your eyes pop and your taste buds salivate are the ones in the store that are called keto tortillas. And they promise that they have almost no net grams of carbs to them, or maybe 3 or 4, but very few. And you think, boy, I've got it made in the shade. This is for me. And yet, so often diabetics find, and people that test their blood sugar find that they don't live up to their reputation at all. And they jack your blood sugar up pretty high. I can often get by with 1, but if I eat 2, it could be a problem. So then you go looking for things that are not found in the store, things you can make yourself, which is generally the healthier way to make things anyway. And a while back, I gave you a recipe for a microwave tortilla. Now, the best tortillas that I've ever found or tasted that are low carb are the lupin flour tortillas. They also have almond flour in them, but they're the kind you fry on the skillet, and you make several at a time. But I'm talking about when you don't quite know what you want to eat for the morning or for the evening, and then you decide, well, I think I'll just make a quick tortilla, just one. I just need one, as in using it for a pizza crust or using it to put some hamburger and salad and tomatoes and cheese and make yourself a taco. And you only need one. You don't feel like going to the trouble of heating up a skillet and making a bunch of them. So I gave you an example of something that works, and it is a tortilla you can make in the microwave in about a minute once you get your ingredients together. So let's talk about that. They have something called whey protein isolate, and I got this from Steve at Serious Keto, but he got it from some Israeli guy. I don't think he even remembered his name, but in any case, it comes from Israel, I guess. Who knows where the Israeli guy got it from, but whey protein isolate, 1 egg, psyllium husk. Whole psyllium husk is supposed to be better, and almond flour. So I keep my almond flour in a container like this. And what's the other one? The other one is heavy whipping cream. And the nice thing about this recipe, it takes about 1 tablespoon of all these. And of course, it's just 1 egg, but 1 tablespoon of the psyllium husk, of the protein isolate, of the almond flour, even 1 tablespoon of the heavy whipping cream, and then 1 egg. You just mix it all together and you flatten it out, pour it out, make it in a round shape, put it in your microwave, 90 seconds or so, boom, the thing is done. And the good news is it tastes good and it works perfectly, either for a pizza crust or for a breakfast burrito or for a taco, a lot of different things. And you really don't have to worry about much of a blood sugar spike. Most people wouldn't. You test for yourself, but I found this works perfect for that. So you say, well, Dennis, you showed us how to do that a couple of years ago. Why are you revisiting it? Well, lately I got kind of curious what could happen if I replaced one of these ingredients. And I found there's one particular ingredient you can replace easily. But before I get to that, let me talk about what you cannot replace. That's the psyllium husk. Now, for some of you, psyllium husk sounds strange and you've maybe never used it. If you're just getting into the whole idea of keto eating, you may not even have a clue what it is. But it's basically almost pure fiber, but it also has a property where it binds things together and makes them kind of stretchy and not so crumbly, which is what you want with a tortilla. If you've got a tortilla and it crumbles into 1,000 different pieces, that's not much of a tortilla. So you got to have something that is got a little bit of that stretchy feel to it, and you can bend it down and up and down and up, and it still holds together and has the right consistency. This is gold for making these kind of tortillas. You got it. You can't ignore this. So out of the recipe, this plus the egg plus the cream. Those are really the three things you cannot replace. But the one thing you can easily replace, and I've been experimenting, is this whey protein isolate. There's just all kinds of different ingredients and nut flours and things that you can use to replace, and it's just as good, if not better. So I've tried all kinds of things. I've tried lupin flour, which is a very high fiber flour made from a bean and has almost no net carbs to it. Works beautifully. And I even tried some of this. This is einkorn flour. Now, this is a wheat flour. It's an ancient style, so it's much healthier for you than your typical white flour you're going to get on your grocery shelf. In fact, I doubt you can even find this at your grocery store, but I ordered it from Amazon. And I like the taste, and it does seem to spike less. But still, wheat is not exactly our friend, so I'm a little mistrustful of einkorn flour, and yet in small degrees and small amounts, it's not bad. Now, the thing of it is, since you've got all these other ingredients that are almost no carbs to the psyllium husk, it's just almost all fiber. This we're replacing, so we don't worry about that. Heavy whipping cream, almost no carbs. Almond flours, almost no carbs. Egg, no carbs. So basically, if you just substitute this, the einkorn flour, for this, you're still getting a reduction of about 65% from if you made a tortilla out of just pure wheat flour. It's got other ingredients that have no carbs to them, or very little. So this works. Here's the lupin flour. I had some of this lying around. I never really did much with it. I decided to try some of this keto biscuit mix. Worked beautifully. I haven't tried this, but it should work. Ground flaxseed. Some people don't like the flaxseed taste, but it would work. And then we've got pecan flour, pecan nut flour. That would work. So, and then keto-friendly flour, which is several flours, mostly almonds, so you're increasing your almond flour a lot. That would work. So basically, this is just kind of a filler that hardly has carbs to it. It's almost pure fiber. And you can replace it with just about anything. So the mad scientist in me kind of went crazy, and I started experimenting, trying several different flours and different food products in place of the protein isolate stuff, and they all work beautifully. As long as you've got an egg and the milk in it and some kind of flour, you can spread it out, and it works beautifully. So for tonight, I'm going to make a pizza for myself, and I am going to show you how to make these. Now, these not only work for pizza, you can melt some butter and just put the melted butter on these flatbreads and just roll them up and eat them as a side dish. So you make a hamburger patty and you want something besides just hamburger meat, you can make one of these, put a little butter on it, and eat it as a side dish. But for now, let's show you how to make these babies, and it is simplicity in itself. It'll take me a little while to kind of get the ingredients together, but once you start putting it together, it's fast. I changed the original recipe a bit, as I often do. I used 2 eggs instead of 1. Then I added 1 tablespoon of almond flour, and then 1 tablespoon of lupin flour, and 1 tablespoon of whole psyllium husks. I added 3 tablespoons of heavy cream instead of 1, and then I mixed everything together until I had a batter that looked good. And now comes the fun. We're going to pour all this onto our little silicone round mat, or not all of it maybe, but as much as is needful. It's pretty liquidy at this point, and we don't want to spread it out too thin, or when we take it up, it'll tear. So limit yourself as to how big you make this. And there I go. I will just put this in the microwave, and we'll see what we get. So here we go. About 98 seconds in the microwave, and comes right up and folds. If I wanted to make it a taco or as a pizza base, just put it in the oven with some spaghetti sauce and shredded cheese and pepperoni and green pepper, whatever you like to put on your pizza. And then sprinkle it some more with some shredded cheese, and you got yourself a little personal pizza. You could obviously make a couple of these or make this one bigger. I'm a little nervous about making it too big, because one time when I made it too big, it kind of tore as I was taking it up, but I think it was because I did not bake it in the microwave long enough. In this case, it's fairly thick, but not too thick, and would work perfect. In fact, the flavor is so good, and the smell is great. There's something about lupin flour that just almost smells like corn tortillas when you mix it in with your tortillas. But you can just roll this baby up a little bit, put some butter on it, and just eat it as a side. So here's a great opportunity. Feel free. Experiment. Use your glucose meter. Find out what it does to your blood sugar. I will be shocked if someone comes along and tells me that this particular recipe with the lupin flour and the almond flour and the psyllium husk and the cream, the eggs, if someone says, well, Dennis, that jacked up my blood sugar to 200, it was 100, I will be shocked to the point of not hardly believing you. I mean, I will believe you if you say it's sincere enough, but for the most part, most like 90-some% of diabetics could get by with one of these for sure, maybe even two. So here you go. Tortilla, chapati, roti, flatbread, whatever you want to call it. This will work. Breakfast burrito, tacos, quesadillas or quesadillas, as Napoleon Dynamite says, and pizza crust, whatever you want to do with it, you can do it, and it is not going to jack up your blood sugar. So, bon appetit, my friend. Enjoy. And who says diabetics can't have tortillas?
If you've recently been diagnosed with diabetes and you've just discovered this channel, let me recommend that you go to our Uploads page, which will give you access to every diabetic video we've posted since we began. As you work your way through all our videos, I believe you'll find the help you need. A link to our Uploads page is in the description.